One man, one mission, to rid the world of chronic anxiety once and for all. The Anxiety Guy, Dennis Simsek, shares his personal transformation from living a life filled with overwhelming worry to becoming a full-fledged positivity machine. A leading authority in generalized anxiety, Dennis gets to the truth of your mental health challenges and sets you on a path to transforming each and every area of your life. Here he is, the one and only, the Anxiety Guy.
Warriors, I welcome you to episode number 230. This is the Anxiety Guy podcast, and I am so grateful to be here with you. Your host, Dennis Simsek. Today, I'm discussing what to do post-panic attack after the storm has settled. Important, before we get into it, know that this podcast episode is brought to you by theanxietyguy.com. Head on over. Everything you need to begin your healing journey past anxiety is at theanxietyguy.com. And so we find ourselves in this place of having a panic attack. And first of all, let's differentiate between an anxiety attack and a panic attack, because some people don't know the difference. Generally, an anxiety attack is something that you think yourself into. You are conscious of the reasons for an anxiety attack. And when it comes to a panic attack, it's more unconscious. You don't know why you feel the way you feel. But in any case, there's a formula and there's a structure to the attack, whether it's conscious or unconscious. It's kind of like breadcrumbs laid out, crumb after crumb after crumb, that leads to the end attack. So today it's about the 5 things that I want to present to you on what to do after you've experienced a panic attack. Because you know what? After a panic attack, it's kind of like, wow, what just happened? Where do I go from here? When is the next one going to show up? Is there something wrong with me? What will people think? What will my future look like? Will I be able to take care of my family? Yada, yada, yada. It just goes on and on and on. And so we've all been in that place. And I want to share something very important with you that you can ponder today. Every symptom has a loving intention behind it. Every symptom has a loving intention behind it. Let's understand what we're dealing with here first of all. We're dealing with the adult, conscious, rational, logical mind versus the unconscious mind, the child mind, meaning highly emotional, not really caring about anything in your future, but more so what's happening in the present, and a child mind that is still stuck in the past and portraying its beliefs in the present moment. So as we go through the day, we have to ask ourselves, who's winning? Is the adult mind winning or is the child mind winning? Now, here's the first thing you want to make sure you do post-panic attack. Allow, keyword, allow the storm / the symptoms to pass in time, not forced. Because many people will still get the sense that they're feeling something uncomfortable. Why is it still there? So they'll do everything in their power to continue to distract themselves from the symptom in the hopes that it goes away. No, you cannot force healing upon yourself. Healing is a natural outcome of things that you do patiently and with compassion for yourself. And so we must understand that allowing the storm and the symptoms to pass means, okay, I've had an experience. It's just an experience. And so my body heals itself, but my body follows the orders of my mind which is the very thing that I must start taking control of. I mustn't try to force healing upon my body. I must look to control the factors that are presently in my mind so that my body can follow. Number 2, practice being fully engaged with your 5 senses in an external activity soon after the panic attack. Best thing I ever did. I went for a walk, and while I was walking, I grabbed an apple, and I recognized, hey, what do I see? What do I see in the form of one thing? What do I see in terms of everything? What do I hear? What do I feel? What do I taste in terms of this apple? What do I smell in the bushes and the trees? You need to not forcefully, but compassionately and guidingly guide your system towards the external happenings rather than getting caught up in still what's going on in the internal. So here I am. I'm fully in this moment where I'm going for a walk. This is being fully engaged with your external reality. Get your senses involved. See it as a practice opportunity. Because until you see these moments of distress as practice opportunities, nothing's going to change. But with that comes the idea of, what are you practicing? You have to have something to practice. So if you don't have a toolkit for healing as you're going through the day, I'm sorry, but you're just going to succumb to your feelings. You need a toolkit for healing throughout the day that emphasizes changes in your physiology and what your body does, mentally and how to respond to these thoughts, imaginatively and imagining a better future, so that the emotions can follow. Number 3, practice compassion. Knowing that the system that spurred on the panic attack is looking out for your best interest based on perceptions fueled by your past experiences. All that's going on right here, right now, in that panic attack and afterwards, is an interpretation. An interpretation. That's it. If your system is interpreting this present situation as a threat to you and your survival, you must respond in a compassionate manner saying, hey, thank you. Thank you for looking out for me. I mean, you didn't have to go that far and give me a panic attack, but again, thank you. And when thank you shows up and compassion shows up, you are working with the inner wounded child who's presenting itself through your beliefs and your current identity, rather than continuing to beat the child up. Because let me ask you, as you're going through the day, are you more compassionate towards yourself? Or do you beat yourself up more and more and more as the days go on? I know I was number 2. I wasn't compassionate at all, especially after a panic attack. I said, oh my goodness, I am this and I am that, and I'll never get to do this, and my life will be like that, and so on and so forth. I mean, it's so easy to be a victim. It's so easy to be a victim, right? I mean, it just comes so naturally to us. We're so highly invested in inner distress and pain that being a victim is so easy. You know what's hard? Being a warrior. And a warrior is compassionate. A warrior allows the storm to pass. A warrior engages in the outside world. Heck, I was walking down the street a couple days ago, and there was 100 people and, walking around, and I decided to hug a tree. You heard that right. I was hugging a tree. I had a moment there, and I know that trees can hear. I'm not crazy, but I can tell you that trees can hear. They have their own aura and vibration emanating from them, so I decided, hey, I'm going to hug this tree. So there I was. I didn't care that people were looking at me. I was in the moment. I wasn't internal. I was externally in the moment. Warriors, one of the biggest signs that you are healing is that you are giving up the judgments of others. You are giving up on allowing those judgments to be a part of you. You are giving up being so internal and being more involved in the external. This is a sign of healing. So again, practice compassion after a panic attack. The fourth thing is practice mapping. Mapping meditation gets you to become accepting of and mindful of your physical sensations. As you move from body part to body part in this form of meditation, you are becoming less judgmental, therefore more kind to yourself. And so, if you go on YouTube and just search the keywords mapping meditation, you'll notice the meditation that I created for you. You should be doing this every single day, and especially after a panic attack, because it promotes kindness to your system. And finally, understand that a panic attack still has a structure to its buildup. You are just currently unaware of the structure, which you must become aware of so that lessons can be taken. The question is, what sort of unconscious processes took place prior to the panic attack? With that, I want you to ask yourself, what sort of conscious things was I engaged in that caused the panic attack? These are, as I mentioned, the cookie crumbs that lead to a panic attack, since there's always reasons for a panic attack that we must bring to the forefront of our minds. So number 5 is related to self-discovery. The question is, why? I love you, and you should love yourself, and we should be loving everybody out there. Stop competing. Start cooperating. Warrior, remember that you are more than anxiety. If you're enjoying this podcast, please share it with somebody today. If you have any questions on the End the Anxiety program, Life Mastery program, or the Inner Circle program, head on over to theanxietyguy.com today. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Thanks for being an important part of the Anxiety Guy podcast community. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a positive rate and review. If you're searching for further support on your road to recovery from anxiety, head over to anxietyexit.com and take part in the powerful End the Anxiety program based around the CBT model. If you're searching for a more one-on-one approach, you can sign up now for personal coaching sessions with Dennis via Skype. Remember, you are more than anxiety. See you in the next episode.